Welcome back to another episode of Off the Boards with your hosts Josh Gogan and Ryan Ward. Ryan, how you doing? We haven't done this in a while.
I'm doing pretty good, feeling better. Uh, Ready to get some episodes out on a more regular basis.
Yeah, me too. We're already behind, and we still haven't finished our projections. But we're gonna pound through the projections today.
Yeah.
So I say let's just get it going and start right off with the Blue Jackets.
All right. Columbus
Mess.
doesn't make. Yeah, God. They got gutted, didn't they?
Yeah, they absolutely gutted. I still see they have some bright spots on this team. I think that Pierre-Luc Dubois is going to be a fantastic forward.
He will be a top player in this league. Mark my
But
words.
yikes, goaltending. That's a thing
Yeah.
you kind of need in the NHL, and they just lost their best goalie.
Yeah, I mean, Corpusella could come up, but I don't know.
He's playing.
He's playing. He was projected pretty high before they traded Bobrovsky, but I don't know if they were ready to really have him there.
Probably
Signed for
not.
that, signed for that contract this year, but I mean, if you look as past played in 2015-2016, he played 31 games for the Jackets and got a 920 save percentage, which isn't too bad.
Yeah.
But he's posting like a 924, 907, 913 in the AHL, so that's not too bad. He could come up, he could be league average, could be better. I don't really know. Goaltender's always really weird to predict, right? So
True. I mean, if you look at how Columbus is doing so far, I mean, Columbus is 4-3-2. They get 10 points. Problem is their goals against is a -7 compared to their goals for, and that's just not. It's not really a great thing for you to want to
no,
see.
no, you don't want to see that.
Um, do we have the Corpusella's actual stats from this year, or
So for this year, he's played 7 games, 270 goals against, and 905 save percentage.
he's 4-2? That's not bad. I mean, I see
Yeah,
his wins are good. That stat itself, but his goals against and his save percentage are quite not great.
yeah. We gotta
I
wonder where's he getting help from on the offense right now.
Pierre-Luc Dubois apparently,
Well, yeah, I guess Dubois, Atkinson, Nyquist, all.
and Wenberg and Foligno and Seth Jones all have 5 points.
Yeah.
But
Their depth forwards from before they got Duchesne are all still there.
Yeah, but you're right. What I really don't understand is if Corpusella is giving up 2.7 goals a game, he's given up 19 goals in 7 games. Where's the goal scoring coming from? I really don't see
I
it. Almost everyone on this team is a minus or even. There's only 2 players that I can see right now that are actual pluses. I mean, Pierre-Luc Dubois has 4 goals in 9 games, but still after that, I think the second highest is 2 for Gustav Nyquist. And I guess Oliver Borkstrand, who I think is going to be a fantastic player, has 2 goals.
Yeah, and then Cam Atkinson's off to a slow start. 4 points in 9 games, 2 goals, 2 assists.
Do you think
But
he turns it around?
oh yeah, he's a 70-point player. He got 69 last year, and he's always been steadily increasing. So I think he'll be a 70-point player this year.
I don't think we have any Blue Jackets fans that are going to listen to this because there's very minimal of them in existence. But
I don't want to say that, but yeah,
I don't see this team fighting for a wild card spot unless
no,
Korpisalo has just a fantastic year and surprises all of us. I think that
no,
they're done.
no. And I don't think they'll make playoffs either. I mean, their defense is great. Seth Jones is a top tier defenseman in this league,
No,
probably top
absolutely, and I
five.
think Zach Werenski's getting up there too. I think they have a good
Yeah,
defensive core, at least top 2. They've got some good
yeah,
forwards, but goaltending is a thing that you need in this league to actually win games, and
yeah.
that's something that I
And
really see them struggling with this year and in the future. Unless Korpisalo takes a big step next year, they get a good draft pick, something like that. But other than that, yikes.
yeah. But the benefit is their team isn't bad. It's just the East is that good. I think
You're right. The East is
if they
really
were in the
good this
West,
year.
if they were in the West, I could maybe see them competing for both a wild card spot.
Yeah,
But in the East, there's
I
no
could see
way.
them competing if they were in the West, but the East is just a gun show.
Yeah,
All right, so yeah, Columbus,
move on.
you guys need
Yeah,
help.
yeah,
The St. Louis Blues, the Stanley Cup champions, the reigning Stanley Cup champions.
yeah.
I love this team, man. Like, that was
They're a great team.
that was such a good story last year. Jordan Bennington, what a guy, comes out of nowhere, literally nowhere. Like, in a typical St. Louis Blues fashion over the past however many years, a goalie comes out of nowhere, wins them a bunch of games, and takes them into the playoffs. Jake Allen, Brian Elliott, I feel like I'm missing one more. Regardless, Jordan Bennington came in last year. This team wasn't even in a playoff spot. They weren't even. They were like bottom feeding. They were a bottom feeding team looking at
They
trading
were
away
the
guys
last
like
league, I think.
yeah. They were looking at getting rid of guys like Tarasenko, O'Reilly, Pietrangelo, Colton Parayko. I remember was on the trading block at one point. And then this guy, Jordan Bennington, comes in and goes, you know what? I'm actually going to do what all those other St. Louis Blues goaltenders never did. I'm going to take them all the way to the Stanley Cup and win.
Yeah.
Like, literally insane. Like, this guy posted a 198 goals against in 32 games last year. A 189, even better. A 189.
It's mesmerizing how good he is.
It's insane. Like, how does St. Louis have such good luck with goalies? I don't get it.
I don't get it either.
And we can talk about this now. The Justin Falk move.
Yeah, that trade. Justin Falk, yeah, that trade's.
The trade.
I mean,
trade, fine, good. Extension, yikes.
What is his extension right now?
He's playing currently on this extension through 26-27, making 6.5 per year after this year.
Ooh.
Because he's on a 4.5, I think, right now.
Yeah, he's on 4.15.
Yeah. For this year, next year, and for the next however many years, he's got a no-move clause until 2024-2025, making 6.5, and then a modified trade clause in his last 2 years. And yikes. That is yucky.
That is a rough contract.
It's gonna be one of those contracts like you look at with Marlowe and some of the other contracts that have been signed. This is gonna be really good for the first few years, and then the last 2 years we're just gonna have to burn it.
Yeah, but I mean, for the next few years though, he will be a solid 3-4 defenseman on their team.
No, absolutely, but this is a team,
and probably maybe even top pairing if Pietrangelo leaves. It is possible.
I mean, this is already a fantastic defensive core to begin with.
Yeah.
You got guys like Pietrangelo, Parayko, Jay Bouwmeester, Carl Gunnarsson still, I mean, he's kicking around.
Vince Dunn even.
Vince Dunn. Is he good?
He's pretty good. For a young defenseman, he's not bad.
Fantastic. I'm glad to hear that.
I've certainly seen worse make NHL teams.
I don't understand the St. Louis Blues. I really don't, because watch what's going to happen this year. I really hope it doesn't, because I hope Jordan Bennington does have a good career in the NHL. But odds are he's going to come back this year. He's going to start sucking, and then they're going to get kicked out in the first or second round. Even though
it's a sophomore season.
Even though this is still a contending team in my eyes, like Tarasenko, O'Reilly, Steen, Schwartz, Shen, Bozak, Sundqvist, Ivan Barbashev, for God's sakes. A little shout out to
the definitely have an underrated forward core.
It's
very
crazy. Robbie Fabry, too. Like, jeez.
Yeah, Thomas Robert even. He's coming up. He's young.
They have a yucky good team.
Yeah.
Like, this is yikes.
I mean, that's what happens when you win the cup. You get a good team.
I know this is what happens, but I mean, yikes. And I mean, your backup goalie is still Jake Allen, and I know that he's kind of fallen off a little bit, but he'll still go out there and win you games if need be.
Yeah, he's got the ability to win games if needed.
Yeah, I mean, he's not. I wouldn't start him.
I wouldn't start him, but I think if they needed, if Jordan Bennington started falling off, they needed to run a tandem. I think they could with Jake Allen.
Yeah, and I mean, like, look.
It wouldn't be ideal, but it would work. Look,
guy brought Stanley Cup to Fredericton, right around our hometown. Pretty good.
Yeah.
Pretty good. Felt pretty good. All right, so definitely a playoff team, but are they a contender again?
I don't know. You're looking at some of the games they played this year. I mean, they beat out Dallas, Dallas and Ottawa. That's not saying much.
They haven't. I don't think they've had a real test yet, have they? Like a real team.
They beat the Leafs 3-2.
Okay, right. That was a good game.
Yeah, they also beat Colorado 3-1, which is pretty impressive.
From a Leafs standing, which is hard for me to say. That was a good game. Bennington stood on his head.
Admittedly, even they played Montreal twice now, 6-3, 5-2.
So their
They
first
weren't
game,
terrible. They weren't terrible games. Like there was St.
yeah,
Louis was playing fine.
their
Just Montreal was going
first
crazy
game was
because it's
against
Saturday night.
Washington, was a loss in overtime. Then they beat
Yeah,
the Stars, then they beat the Leafs, then the Sens, then they lost to Montreal, beat the Islanders, who are going to be a good team, lost to
yeah.
Vancouver in the shootout. Vancouver's going to be a good team.
That's a tough loss too.
I'm excited.
Especially in the shootout. Yeah.
Then
Oh man, I'm loving this
they
Vancouver right
lose
now.
they lose to you guys again. They come in and they stomp Colorado, which is
Yeah,
just crazy to think about. Now they got to play the Kings and then the Bruins. And I think,
that's
they
not a
had
bad schedule.
they had a pretty, I don't want to say an easy schedule. They had some tough games where they proved themselves. They're not
Yeah,
really surrendering stuff like that. Losing to the Habs twice is kind of, it's hard, but I mean,
it is hard, but you gotta remember they're playing the Habs on Saturday night. One of those games was in the Bell Center.
yeah,
The 6-3 loss was in the Bell Center on Saturday night. That's a hard game to win.
true.
Even if the Habs are bad on Saturday night in the Bell Center, it's a hard game to win on the road.
I think that
It's just hard.
I honestly think this team will contend again for 2 years in a row. I think they'd be a good team to do it back to back, and man,
Oh yeah, no.
it'd be great.
Yeah, I don't know if they win the cup this year, but I think they're definitely a contender.
All right, well, moving on from the Blues, we move on to the Winnipeg Jets, and Winnipeg
Yikes.
went from having one of the top 8 probably defensive cores in the NHL to bottom feeding. Like they lost
it's hard
everybody.
not. Yeah, like, there's nothing they could do about it too. Like,
No,
they
absolutely.
could have re-signed Trouba, but I don't know if they have the cap space for it.
I also
and then
think
Bufflin kind of just comes out of nowhere, right? Like nobody could have expected that.
I think it's one of those things where Trouba didn't want to play for Winnipeg anymore. I think it was more or less something of that.
Yeah, you gotta remember, like I think it was a year or two ago. He asked for a trade. He's just wanted out of Winnipeg. He wants to be a star somewhere else. So
but
it's hard to lose that, but nothing you can do.
I look at players like Josh Morrissey, who I am hella excited for. I love Josh Morrissey. He's going to be a fantastic player. I hope that the Bufflin thing is it's just like he just needs to go and reset.
I hope he's just taking some time to get himself right and comes back. I hope it's not like a.
I hope he comes back around January. Yeah, January, and he's just rested, and he's like, okay, I'm ready, and he's going to push through. Because, I mean, he kind of looked a little burnt out in the playoffs last year, which is understandable. Yeah. The guy's getting up there in age.
He's getting up there in age. He plays a very hard game. He plays a very physical game, and for a 34-year-old, that takes a huge toll on your body.
True. And they also lost Tyler Myers, also.
I forgot about Tyler Myers, yeah. That's a rough loss.
But they were able to re-sign Kyle Connor and Patrick Laine, keeping them both. And I think both of those signings happened before the season started, which was great.
Yep. And I like the Patrick Laine signing. I really do like that contract. It gives him a good 2 years, gives him a good chance to prove himself again.
That's the thing. I think it's more or less a proven contract rather than a bridge deal. I don't think they wanted to give him a long contract. Kyle Connor, you can give him a long contract all day. I mean, how many goals did Laine score last year? He scored a bunch, but he scored like 19 in a month and then went like 3 months without scoring a goal.
Yeah. He scored 30 goals last year, which isn't great for 50 points. But you gotta remember, he's got the same problem as a lot of goal scorers do, where they get really streaky.
He's a super streaky
He'll score
player.
all the goals in like a month and a half, and then they'll go on a cold streak for 2 months, and then they'll come back and score another like 40 goals.
Which, I mean, it sucks for the Jets.
Yeah. Like it reminds me of Pacioretty a lot in that sense, but it's really hard to have that kind of player on your team.
The Jets
they have the ability, and then they just can't get in there. It's rough.
The Jets currently have played 11 games. They're 5-6-0. 30 goals for, 36 against. It's hard for me to say that this team will make the playoffs due to the fact that I just don't trust their defense. Last year I would have said
defense is such a problem.
Last year I would have said contender all the way. This year, man, I hate to say it, but I think they're a bubble team.
Even 2 months ago, I would have said they're like a contender for the cup, right? Now.
If they can they would have kept Bufflin, it would have been fine. But I really see this team as a contender rather than anything.
Yeah, I see it as a bubble team right now, but luckily, I don't know who's coming up who's coming up next year for like in free agents.
Yeah,
all they need is one free agent defenseman, right?
True. It'll be interesting to see how things play out. I do like Connor Hellebuck, though, their goalie.
Yes. Connor Hellebuck is that man is going to win a Vezina very soon. He is.
I don't think it's this year though, because I just don't think he gets the help on D that he'd need.
No, he doesn't have the help he needs for it. But
it's gonna be like
very soon.
It's gonna be a John Gibson situation in Winnipeg.
Yeah,
so
I think you're right.
Winnipeg bubble team. Moving on. Next team, Carolina Hurricanes. Bunch of jerks, baby. Let's get it.
A bunch of jerks. Like, I can't like them because I'm a Habs fan, but like I like them. They're hard to hate.
A Leafs fan, I love this team. They're hilarious. Yeah. I love the whole bunch of jerk stuff. That's hilarious.
Oh yeah, it's great. Love it. I love the whole thing.
It's great for the league. Look, if you could piss off Don Cherry, that's fantastic.
Oh yeah, that's the best. That's the best thing ever.
That's hilarious. I love it.
And the best part is, like, you look at this team, it's so good.
They're so young and they're so good, and they've got 2 firsts this year. Theirs in Toronto's 3 thirds. They got draft picks for days on this team, and they're just so goddamn young. Andrei Svechnikov. Ryan Dzingel is only 27. Nino Niederreiter, 27. Timo
Sebastian Aho's 22.
You're right. What's his name?
Teravainen?
Yeah, 25.
Teravainen.
Defense. Like, Dougie Hamilton's only 26. Jacob Slavin, 25. They even got Jay Gardner on this team now. Brett
29.
Pesce, 24.
Hayden Fleury, 23. Like, these is such a young team, and they're all so good. Like, and their defense is probably the best in the league.
I don't understand. Like, I don't.
I don't know.
Carolina went from a bottom, like just a straight out bottom team.
Yeah. And then it all just kind of clicked last year.
Yeah, being like, you know what? We're gonna win.
Yeah. We got everything we need. What are we doing? Just let's win. And then they went to Eastern Conference Final and got swept by the Bruins. But
I honestly thought that they would go to the Stanley Cup because it's typical Carolina fashion to come out of nowhere every few years and win a cup.
Just either go all the way or nothing at all.
Yeah, exactly.
The main problem they have right now is goaltending.
Exactly. It seems to be a trend for some of these teams.
Yeah.
James Reimer.
Peter Mrazek, but like...
Who did they have last year? Wasn't it McElhaney was playing for this team?
I think McElhaney was the backup, yeah.
So Mrazek was starting then for them?
I believe so, yeah.
Well...
That's like...
I had doubts about this goaltending tandem last year, and look where that got me. He posted a 239 goals against in 40 games with a 914 save percentage. That was Mrazek. I mean, it's hard for me to not say this team is a playoff team, but watch me eat my words because Carolina.
Yeah, you never know with Carolina. I think they will make playoffs. I think they could make a run at the cup.
I don't know. I don't know if they're a contender only because of their goaltending. If they had good goaltending, I'd say this team's a contender.
But we said that we said we were thinking the same thing last year, and they were in the Eastern Conference Final.
You're right, but
anything can happen.
I'm going to stick to my guns and say this team is not a contender, but they are a very good playoff team.
Yeah. Yes.
All right.
I'll agree with that. All right.
The Pittsburgh Penguins, baby.
Ooh, the Penguins. God, I don't know. It's hard to see just everything that they had kind of falling apart now. Like, especially with the injuries they've had.
I agree. Evgeny Malkin out for
Malkin, Galchenyuk, Bukestad, Dumoulin,
they're out
Brian
for
Rust is
quite
out.
a bit. It's not really a good thing to have happen to your team, but
yeah, like when you're 2C and arguably, I guess not arguably, if he was on any other team, Evgeny Malkin would be a number 1 center. But God, when he goes down, that's a rough hit. Like, I know you still got Crosby on center, but god damn.
I don't want to say this because it sounds kind of bad, but it's probably better to have these injuries happen now rather than later. But I just don't know if Malkin and Galchenyuk come back and play the same. I mean, Malkin's old. Think about that.
Malkin is 33 now. Yeah, he's getting up there in age.
And he's still.
But he hasn't had
that many. Year, but he was minus 25.
Yeah, Malkin's never been a great defensively. Let's be honest.
No, but I expect him to do better than that. He's played 2 games this season, has 1 goal, +1. Pretty good.
I mean,
Malkin's
as far as I've known, I don't know. It's hard. It's so hard to say.
Here's what I'm gonna say. This is gonna be another year like it always is on this team. It feels like everything is going to be on Sidney Crosby. that's what it is. Sidney Crosby is going to have to carry this team into the playoffs and hope and pray for the best. Now, I also want to say Jim Rutherford, fantastic general manager, until you brought in Jack Johnson and Eric Branson. You doubled down. You don't double down on that kind of thing. No.
I still can't believe that Jack Johnson contract.
Terrible. Absolutely garbage, man. I thought this guy was so good. He helped this team
that might be the
so
worst.
Much.
That might be the worst contract in the league.
Oh,
that or Alsner. I'm not sure which one it is, or maybe Lucic, but I don't know. It's one of those three.
Yeah. So Malkin is on LTIR right now, which for those of you who don't know what that means, it's long-term injured. For a player to be on LTIR, I believe they have to be out for at least 2 months.
I think it's a month, but yeah.
It's quite a bit. Volchenyuk, Dumoulin, and Bukestad, they're only on injury reserve, which means that they could come back anytime. I don't really know the extent of these injuries. I didn't really look into it. I'm assuming they're probably week to week, day to day, which would be good for this team.
And the main difference between injury reserve and long-term injury reserve, if they're on the long term, the Penguins get that cap hit back while they're on there.
Only
so right now,
it's a whole thing in the CBA. It's a mess.
Yeah, it's a very complicated procedure, but basically they get a little bit more cap relief from it. So
look, me and Ryan still haven't read the CBA, so.
And I don't plan on it. I might read the next one, maybe.
Maybe. It's also going to be Chris Letang has to stay healthy for this team to do well, and Matt Murray needs to have a good year.
Yeah, which I believe he will. Matt Murray, I trust Matt Murray.
I trust Matt Murray too, most of the time.
Yeah.
He had a rough year in 2017-2018. He didn't really have the best year last year, and he's not off to a great start this year. Which, like I said, it's literally going to be, can Crosby carry another team into the playoffs? I don't see this team doing well. I see them as a bubble team. Because I don't know.
But the thing is, we're saying you have to trust in Crosby to carry you. Yeah. If there's any player in this league that can, it's Sidney Crosby.
You're right. You're 100% right. Sidney Crosby can carry just about anything into the playoffs.
He is, I would say, the best player in the league. Like, McDavid's close, but Sidney Crosby is still the best. I trust him to do everything.
I trust Crosby to do more. I think that McDavid's the better player, but Crosby is a much better leader just because he's done it.
Yeah, Crosby is just so good, experienced leader. I trust him in the hard times. McDavid, I think, is more skillful, but when it really comes down to it, I need, again, in a playoff push, I need Crosby.
So, bubble team or?
I'd say bubble leaning on playoffs, but maybe not.
They're in a tough division. That's the other thing we got to think about. They're playing in the East.
Yeah, the whole East.
A very good bubble team is what I'm going to say this team is.
Yeah,
so,
I would agree.
Next up, my favorite team, the Toronto Maple Leafs. Who can't start a game on time.
What? I haven't paid attention to the Leafs at all. What are you talking about here?
This team drives me up the goddamn wall. You know how many goals they've let in the first 5 minutes of a game so far? Almost every single game except for one they've been scored on first, and it's been within the first 5 minutes of the game.
Jesus.
They're driving me mad, man. Holy smokes. The Leafs always have a terrible October. That's the thing. That's what I'm going to say.
Leafs always have a terrible life, but,
Frederik Andersen always has a bad October. Currently, he's sitting at 5-2-1. A goals against of 319. And a save percentage of 901.
What was that? What was that? 319? Excuse me?
319.
Frederik Andersen?
Yeah, he's got a 319. Yeah.
Is that possible?
Is that a 319?
Dear God.
He's 5-2. Shut up.
I mean,
he's playing the Leafs. He gets.
Yeah, he's got the best offense in the league on top of him, or second best offense. Sorry, it's terrible, but
here's the thing. Look, the Leafs are going to turn this around. I have no doubt in my mind.
I must hate the Leafs. They're a good team.
Like, Mikheyev, fantastic player bringing this guy in. I love him. Good old Mickey, 7 points, 11 games, 3 goals, 4 assists, a +5. A +5. Kerfoot, 7 points, 11 games, 4 goals, 3 assists, +5. And
How's your defense looking?
shut up. Even William Nylander is actually
Leafs defense.
look. William Nylander is coming back into form. The Leafs defense is they're starting to perform well. The problem is Cody Ceci is going to be gone within the next few weeks. Mark my words. And I think that
I mean, he might be gone to the AHL, but
no,
he ain't
no,
getting
no.
traded.
He's
Nobody's trade.
no,
No,
because
nobody's going to accept a trade for him.
I think people will. Here's the thing: he's on a 1-year deal, and there's some teams in this league that just need bodies.
What's your sweetener?
I think Nick Patan played his last game in a Leafs jersey last night. Or
Really?
yeah, that game was last night, right? Yeah, they played Boston. Yeah, Boston last night. I think that Nick Patan just played his last game in a Leafs shirt, and I think that him and CC get packaged in a deal for a body, maybe. Because here's the thing, the Leafs have such good defensive prospects in the AHL currently, and just players that they could bring up. Rasmus Sandin, for one. Played a few games up here. They sent him back down so he could play with Liljegren, and they could just tear it up together. They're going to try to bring them both. My understanding is they're going to try to bring them both up at the same time, and they're going to have them play as a pairing. So I believe that CC is going to get gone somehow. Dermott and Hyman should be back on Saturday, which is great. I love Zach Hyman. I love Travis Dermott. It's going to be great to have those two back. It's going to make the defense look better.
They'll definitely improve the defense, yeah. Joe Sturgant will... He'll do it.
I mean, role players are really doing the role right now. Like Trevor Moore, holy shit, this guy can fly.
Yeah.
Like his skating is so good. It sucks that JT is out for, I think it's another week with a broken finger. But even guys like Frederic Gauthier, who I thought would never do anything on this team, I thought, man, this is a waste of a draft pick. Holy smokes, has he really been impressing me? And it's not even the point production that he's putting out. It's the face-off wins. He's doing everything right. He's going into the corners. He's playing gritty hockey. I love it.
All right.
And then you got guys like Austin Matthews who have 8 goals in 11 games. Anyways.
Pretty good.
I think as much as it hurt, I think the Leafs contend.
I think they go out in the first round of Boston again.
On paper... minus the whole first round thing. Yeah, you want to let me talk?
No, I don't.
Minus the whole first round issue, I think this team contends as long as we don't play Boston in the first round. If we play Boston in the first round, say goodbye to the postseason. Anyways, contending Toronto Maple Leafs, mark my words, minus Boston.
Yeah, they'll probably contend.
The Smashville Predators.
What is this team right now?
Excellence, apparently, because I'm pretty sure Pecorine is undefeated currently.
Is he really?
I think he's 5-0-0.
I need to check that.
I'm pretty sure he's currently 5-0-0 because I have him on one of my fantasy teams and I saw that and I was like, are you serious right now? Like, damn. This might be an easier year than I thought. You should really have looked these things up before. Anyways, now
I didn't know he was. I haven't paid attention to Nashville at all, so I haven't really seen that.
Yeah, he is. I have his stats in front of me.
He's 5-0-1. He's 5-0-1.
But the backup, Saros, is 0-3-1. Or no, not 0-3-1. He's 0-3-0. And Pecorine has posted a 2.31 goals against and a 9.21 save percentage. And he is not getting any younger, but he plays like he is, and I love it.
Yeah.
Like
the other benefit Nashville has the defense.
Ryan Ellis, Roman Yossi,
Matthias Ekholm.
Oh my god, I forgot how deep this team's defense was. Jesus.
Yeah.
And I mean, think about it. There's guys like they have on this team, like Victor Arvidsson, who literally, I'm pretty sure, came out of nowhere last year.
Yeah.
And this team is Matt Duchene. That's where he ended up. And Kyle Turris. And Ryan Johansson. Remember when those guys were traded for each other? Yeah, me too. And now they're all playing on the same team together. Philip Forsberg.
Was Johansson in it? Johansson wasn't in that trade.
Johansson started on Columbus, so I count that as them all playing on the same team.
Yeah, but he was traded like 2 years before that for Seth Jones.
Look, I know. I'm just saying it makes me feel
better. Yeah, Matt Duchene and Kyle
Turris
were traded for each other.
Yeah, exactly. Now they're both playing on the same team. They were part of a 3-team trade. One of the first ones I've ever seen. I think the first one that we've had in a while, where Kyle Turris ended up on Nashville.
It was one a couple years ago.
Matt Duchene ended up on Ottawa? Or was that? Did he go the other way?
No, he went to Ottawa. No, he went to Ottawa. That
He
year.
went to Ottawa, yeah. And I can't
And then
remember.
Colorado got Gerard, I think, was the player, but he also got the first round pick, which was the
They
big thing.
did. Oh my god, this Ottawa is a mess. Anyways, yeah, Ryan Ellis, 12 points, 9 games, pretty good. Man, this team is yucky good on defense. And their forwards, like, they don't have a lot of big names, but the names that they do have are at center, which is, in my eyes, the most valuable position in the NHL. And they're putting up points. Like,
Yeah.
you have a first line of Matt Duchene, Victor Arvidsson, and Philip Forsberg. That is a yucky first line.
That is very, very good.
Man, it's hard for me to say this team contends for one reason. And I hate to say it's goaltending, but man, Pekka Rinne is 30, 36. How much longer?
The worst part is we're saying this after 2 minutes after we praised him being 5-0-1.
I know, but can he keep this up? Like, that's my biggest worry for this team, because think about it.
Yeah, you get to February, is he still going to be that good?
Well, last year he played, what is that, 50, played 55 games, he went 30-19 and posted a 2.42.
That's, I don't know.
And it seems
I don't know.
like,
I really don't know.
Yeah, frig, man. I don't know. That's the only reason I don't want to say this team's contending.
Question mark.
If this team is to win the cup, it's this year. It has to be this year.
Yeah.
This is the last year they're going to have Pekka Rinne. I mean, Saros is going to come up and he's going to be good. But right now,
that's a couple years away.
Yeah.
And they might not have Roman Josi next year. We don't know.
If they can contend, this is the year. If they're going to contend, it has to be.
It's do or die right now.
It is do or die on this team. So moving on from the Preds, the Sharks. Ooh. Yikes.
Ooh.
What a mess.
I mean, they brought back Marleau,
which they said that they weren't going to do.
Yeah.
Like, they literally said over the
they
summer,
did it now.
We're going in a different direction. And then they're like, Sight.
Yeah, and the other direction was Shitville.
You're right.
They're like,
I'm not saying it wasn't, but yikes.
Maybe let's not figure this out.
Like, I did not think that it was going to happen like that. I didn't think it was going to be that quick where they were just going to jump ship and be like, hey, Patrick, we need you back.
Yeah, what's up, Patty? Might need a little help.
I know why they did it, and it's goal scoring. Their top goal scorer on this team currently is Evander Kane with 4 in 6 games, which is pretty good.
Which I believe he scored 3 of them in one game. He had
exactly. And Martin Jones, man, what the hell is this player?
I don't know. He's as streaky as a goal scorer, but he's a goaltender.
He's 2-4. His goals against is 3.46, and he has a save percentage of under 9.
He had a save percentage of under 9 last year after playing 62 games.
And they made the playoffs.
Like, that's not a hot. Where he posted a save percentage of under 9 again in 20 games. Like, how is he a starting goaltender?
I don't know, but how did they make the playoffs last year? That's the better question you should be asking yourself. And how did they make it so far?
Here's how. Their defense. Right. San Jose is one of the best defenses in the league. Eric Carlson and Brent Burns are probably 2 of top 5 defensemen in the league. Then Vlasic's one of the best defensive players in the league.
I mean, does Carlson finish the year on this team? Because currently,
I think so.
I think
they can.
I can't even say that it's age anymore because this team got rid of quite a few of their older players. Well, I guess one in Pavelski, but
they kept Joe Thornton. And
do they turn their season around? Because currently they've scored 24 goals. They've had 32 against. They're 3-5-1 in 9 games. I just don't know. They lost in overtime to Buffalo. Was that last night? Oh no, it's the next game. They're playing Montreal tomorrow.
It's San Jose tomorrow at the Bell Center.
Yeah. Good luck to the Sharks.
Yeah, that'll be a rough game.
I don't even know if I see this team as a bubble team.
I don't know. Like, here's the thing: if they can turn it around right now, well, maybe not right now.
Martin Jones needs to flick the switch in his head and turn it on. And I know that it's
Yeah.
only 2 weeks into the season, but jeez, man.
He can do it. Like, you see him in the Vegas, I think it was Game 6 against Vegas, where he just went lights out.
Was that the game where they cheated? With the
No, that was Game
penalty
7.
call?
Oh,
okay.
that was Game 7. Where they got 4 goals in 5 minutes?
Yeah, that was just BS. I don't
Yeah,
believe that should have happened.
Yeah, there was last 5 minutes in Game 7. Right?
Yeah, okay. Well, I still think that Vegas should have won that game. Anyways.
I think they probably should have won that game, but, like, 4 goals in 5 minutes? I don't give a shit who you are. I don't care who you are.
Look,
bullshit to the playoffs. It's the fucking NHL playoffs. Welcome to the fucking show, Vegas.
Yeah,
this is what you get. Take your fucking lumps.
Okay, in my view, it was not a major penalty. I'm just saying it shouldn't have been. Whatever. The whole 5 goals thing.
Should have been
you're right. You're right. They should not have let them score 4 goals in 5 minutes. But anyways, man, it's
but they
hard.
could have won Game 5. They could win Game 6. They could win Game 7 without if they didn't take that. There was no reason to take it because it was a penalty. It wasn't a 5-minute penalty, but it was a penalty.
Right.
There's no reason to take a 5-minute penalty at all if you're up in the 3rd period.
It is just really hard for me to say that this team is going to even be a bubble team because, like, yikes.
I know. If they can, it's because Carlson and Brennan's start playing out of their minds again.
So do we?
But other than that,
do we put them at a not playoff team then?
I think they put they're looking at the bubble teams.
Looking
at the bubble teams.
We're getting pretty close to the end here of our projections. Next up, the Islanders.
All right. Barry Trotz.
Great coach.
Might be the best coach in the league.
Absolutely. No doubt in my mind. 100%. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck.
There's no reason they should have made that team There's no reason they should have made the playoffs last year.
No,
other
absolutely
than Barry
not.
Like Anders Lee, I guess is a great player, but
they made the playoffs due to their goaltending, which was
Anders Lee,
lights
Matthew
out.
Barzal, and then the goaltending was just crazy.
Robin Leonard, Thomas Greiss, my boys, and I just want to point out, guys, Thomas Greiss, who I honestly thought would come back and be terrible this year, is currently 3-1 with a goals against of .221, a save percentage of .930.
Jesus.
Semyon Varlamov has played 4 games.
Calm down, Greiss.
2-2. Goals against .255 and a save percentage of .923. That is a great save percentage.
Yeah.
Which means that this team, the reason that Varlamov's goals against is so high, which means the other team took a ton of shots on him, which is why this team's defense needs help.
Yeah, the defense is a little rough. I mean, they brought up Noah Dobson.
But who do they have other than that? Ryan Pulock? Nick Leddy?
Nick Leddy, he's not a bad defenseman.
He's not bad, but man, if Nick Leddy's your top and Johnny Boychuk's the top that you have on your team, then yikes.
Yeah, that's a rough top pairing.
Here's the thing. It's funny for me to say. This team is going to make the playoffs for one reason. It's goaltending. It's stupid.
Yeah,
because
it is.
They have 2 goaltenders on this team who can carry them. They don't need the defense. They can get the goal support from guys like Barzal, Josh Bailey, Andreas Lee, guys like that.
Lundstrom.
Yeah, Brock Nielsen too. It doesn't make any sense. Michael DeCole,
Kyle
Jordan Eberle,
Clutterbuck.
Kyle Clutterbuck, Leo Komarov, guys like that. They're gonna score goals, and this team's gonna make the playoffs only because their goaltending is so good, and Barry Trotz is such a good coach.
Yeah. It's phenomenal what they can do.
It's insane. How are they
they're... I don't know. I really don't know how they're so good, but they're everything that every team wants to be, where they don't have any star players, but they've got everything is just going right.
They got 1 star coming out. I give Matthew Barzal is going to have just a fantastic year.
Oh, yeah. Matthew Barzal is going to be a top player in this league very soon.
So, let's just power through that one. Playoff team. Yeah. Islanders, keep your eye out. Goaltending, fantastic. Washington.
Yeah. Washington Capitals.
Cocaine team.
Boy. John Carlson. He's the leading scorer in the NHL right now.
I want to talk about this now because I've got a whole slide for this.
I just wanted to mention it. We can go into deep dive later, but I just wanted to throw that out there right now.
He's crazy. 20 points.
That's madness.
He's got 20 points, Ryan.
It's madness.
20 points in 11 games, 15 assists, 5 goals.
Oh. Like, I knew he was a good defenseman. I'm like, god damn.
Yeah.
Like, he scored 70 last year, but like I shouldn't be surprised. But Jesus,
crazy. He's crazy.
beautiful.
Now,
All right, let's stop talking about him for now.
Braden Holtby needs help. I don't know what's going on with him. He's somehow currently 4-1. He was pulled from pulled from a game because he let in 5 goals on 5 shots.
Yeah.
Goals against 360 and a save percentage of .884. But they do got Samsonov, who I think is going to be great.
I think he will be great, and I think he's the future of the Capitals goaltending.
Absolutely, but what do they do with Holtby? Are they just going to trade him?
Holtby, either they just trade him if they can get rid of him, or his contract expires this year. Just let him go.
Does he?
Yeah.
What if... Now, hear me out.
But they could resign for a little bit, keep him as the backup, or maybe he comes back. Because Braden Holtby, he could come back.
Yeah, I don't think he's bad enough to be a backup. Yeah. I think that if he does leave, he might play a big factor in New Jersey being able to keep Hall.
Really? You think he goes to Jersey?
Maybe. Jersey needs help. We'll talk about that.
Blackwood's been playing fine.
We'll talk about them in a few minutes. I got a whole slide for that. But, yeah, Washington. Is it even a question? They're gonna make the playoffs.
Yeah, look at their fucking offense. Like,
you've got
Jesus.
Ovechkin, TJ, Backstrom, Lars-Eller, Kuznetsov, Tom Wilson, Jakub Vernon. Like, Kyle Hagelin's on this team. When did that happen?
Carl Hagelin's been on the team for a while now. What are you talking
Brad
about?
Lepsic's also on that team now. Former Leaf.
He's...
Never played a game in a Leafs jersey, but he played a ton in the Marlies.
I forgot Carl Hagelin played for the Los Angeles Kings for 22 games.
Yeah, he had a fun stint. Well,
yeah, he was in 3 teams last year.
Anyways, Washington, contender.
Contender for the Cup, playoff team all the way.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, I think that... Oh, no, it's 2 more teams. Next, Boston Bruins.
Boston Bruins.
Fuck this team.
We have, fuck the Bruins. Also, we have 3 more teams, including the Bruins. Calgary and Tampa.
Okay, I did that
okay.
right.
Boston Bruins. The one-line league
It's a
team.
one-line team, guys. I cannot stress this enough. All of their goal scoring has come from one line, guys. One line.
In fairness, the one line, it might be the best line in hockey.
It is the best line in the NHL. I need to pop off on something real quick. David Pastrnak, 17 points. Brad Marchand, 14 points. Bergeron, 8 points. Torrey Krug, 7. Now after that, Ryan. After Pastrnak at 17, Brad Marchand at 14, and Bergeron at 8, and Torrey Krug at 7, their next highest scorer has 3 points.
Yikes! Who is it for the sake of the argument?
Brett Ritchie, Jake DeBrusk, and Sean Curley all have 3 points.
Who?
Sean Curley.
Who the fuck is Sean Curley? I've never heard of him.
Yeah, me neither. I
also don't see him on the
Sean
team.
Curley. I don't know how to pronounce his name. I'm on their NHL website. That's where I got it from.
Sean. With a K. Okay.
Yeah, with a K.
Sure. I've never heard of him.
Tuukka Rask. I hate this guy. Halak.
I hate that he's so good.
I hate that Halak is good too. Halak is a fantastic guy.
I hate that Halak's on Boston. I love Yaroslav Halak.
He
was a god in 2013 and 2010.
I gotta say this. Tuukka Rask.
Yeah.
4-0-1. 178 goals against. A 944 save percentage. And his one loss, Ryan. His one loss came to the Leafs. He has a shutout, Ryan. Yaroslav Halak. 4 games played. 2-1-1. A save percentage of 931 and goals against of 224. That is fantastic.
Yeah.
That is
the goaltending
good.
Is so beautiful.
And I hate this team because they're gonna contend for the Stanley Cup again. And this has to be their last year. It has to be.
It won't be. Because Brad Marchand is still young. David Pastrnak's only 23. Charlie McAvoy's 21.
Don't you think that an NHL team should be able to stop one line?
Yeah.
One line? Ryan.
But remember, David Krejci's still in the injured, so he could come back and just pop off.
Ryan, this first line has 17 goals.
I know.
17. Ryan, you want to know how many goals they have in total so far? 26. There's only been 9 goals not scored by their first line.
Oh, Boston.
And one of those goals came to Torrey Krug. So make that 8. 8 goals scored by people who have 3 points. And Brett Ritchie has 2 of them. And so does Danton Heinen. I hate that guy so much.
Why? Who's Danton Heinen? Is he a dick?
Kind of. I just hate Boston. He's a Boston.
Oh yeah. Well, everyone hates Boston. Trust me. I hate Boston. Fuck the fucking Bruins. But like.
Yeah. So Boston, hate to say it, they're gonna contend for a playoff.
Yeah,
they're gonna contend for the cup. It sucks,
yeah,
but it's such is life.
It's facts.
Next, Calgary Flames. We can
Calgary.
power through these last 2 teams.
Oof. Yeah, not a great start.
No, I think coaching is a problem on this team.
Who's their head coach? It is Bill Peters.
Bill Peters came over from the Hurricanes after having 2 losing seasons.
Oh, he's the one that they replaced with Rod the Bod.
Yep.
Damn. Why would you hire him?
Look, I really don't understand this team because, I mean, I can't pin the blame on really one individual player. I mean, Rowe's doing well, Tkachuk's doing well. I mean, it's probably goaltending. Yeah. I scrolled down to the goaltending. Yeah. I didn't even realize Cam Talbot was on this team now. Seems like they traded with Edmonton for Mike Smith, apparently.
Yeah, they just swapped.
David Rittich?
Rittich, I think, maybe. I don't know.
Either way.
Yeah, their goaltending's not great.
Bubble team. Goaltending. That's it.
I think they're going to be a playoff team, but like a low. Like maybe 3rd division or wild card. But I think they definitely make playoffs.
That's only going to happen if you can light a fire under that line that played so well last year and basically carry it.
And I think they can. So
I hope they can, man. I love watching. Yeah. I love watching this team play. It's so fun.
Yeah, Calgary is such a fun team to watch.
I agree.
And the defense is so good too.
No, yeah, they still I don't know how.
Giordano, Hannafin, Brody.
Giordano's still playing.
And yeah, remember he only got good when he turned in his 30s.
Oh, you're right.
Like, he was not a good player before that.
He was off the map before that.
Yeah.
So either
nowhere.
They're a low playoff team, high bubble team.
Yeah.
All right.
And finally, the Tampa Bay Lightning.
Last team, arguably the best team. They're gonna win the Presidents again. They may be having a slow start right now, but I have no doubt in my mind this team is going to.
Yeah.
They're gonna turn it around really quick. Just look at their friggin' roster, man. It's ridiculous.
Braden Point at 675. How? How do they keep doing that?
Look, I just want to point this out. I thought their goaltending and defense was good, but they are 4-3-1 right now. 29 goals for, 27 against. I hate this team because they're going to turn around and they're going to just pop off out of nowhere. But man, I hate Tampa, man. God.
I hate that they're doing so well. But Vasilevsky right now, who I believe won the Vezina last year.
He did.
315 goals against and 899.
But he's 4-2-0. You're playing on Tampa. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter, but it should. That's all I'm saying.
But it doesn't because it's Tampa, and you have guys like Stamkos. I'm gonna be honest. The forwards on this team aren't even performing that well.
No, they're not doing great.
No,
they're not doing great, and they're still winning. Like they're still doing fine.
Yeah, because here's the thing: when Stamkos takes off with Kucherov again, everyone's screwed. It's game over. That's it.
I'm scared.
Pack your bags, guys.
When they come back, I'm scared.
This team is pissed off at what happened last year, and mark my words, they're going to make damage this year. They're going to lay waste to the Eastern Conference. They are a contender 100%. No doubt 100%. In my goddamn mind.
Yeah.
So
unless they play the Blue Jackets and get swept again.
That'd be funny. Okay, well,
that's all the teams.
Finishes up our predictions. So, for the rest of the podcast, we have a couple topics to go over. We're going to talk about the RFA deals, what we think of the notable ones, because there's some that I just don't care about. And some of the re-signings that I honestly will talk about at a different point. We're going to talk about Edmonton and Buffalo. Can they keep their season going? Like, they're playing really well right now. James Neal's actually scoring goals again. Will he keep it going? Who won the Flames and Oilers deal? What is New Jersey doing? Like, I can't tell anymore. Is Vancouver's goaltending for real this year? It'd be fantastic to see because they're so fun to watch. Is John Carlson the top defenseman in the NHL right now? And will the old men in Dallas keep it going, or will they get it going? I don't know if they will.
Yeah, all great topics. Let's get started.
So,
jump into RFAs.
Talking about the RFAs, first off, Zach Werenski signed a $15 million deal over 3 years. Currently, he's played 9 games, 2 goals, 2 assists, -4. He was the first RFA to sign. Thank God he kind of got the ball rolling for everyone, which was great.
Yeah.
Next up, Ivan Provorov took a $40.5 million deal over 6 years. So currently, 7 games, 2 goals, 3 assists, -2. Then Mitch Marner took his ridiculous contract, $65.358 million over 6 years. The highest RFA contract, currently sitting at. You don't let me read this off? You're going to keep laughing at me.
No, I'm sorry. Keep going.
11 games, 3 goals, 9 assists, -5. Mitch Marner's
I'm not biased. I'm not biased.
Charlie McAvoy then took his 14.7 over 3 years, 9 games, 0 assists.
That's a
goals,
great contract.
2 assists, currently is a -1. Then Travis Konechny, this is a great contract. $33 million over 6 years, 7 games played, currently 4 goals, 6 assists, -1.
Yeah.
Brock Besser then signed his $17.625 million over 3 years, 9 games played, currently 2 goals, 5 assists. He's a +5. Then Braden Point signed his stupid contract of $20.25 million over 3 years, 5 games played, 3 goals, 2 assists. He's even.
Just stop! I can't believe they got away with it again.
Mm-hmm.
They did it again.
Did you expect anything less from this team, Ryan?
Like, what on earth were they doing? What are they doing in Tampa? How?
I don't know.
Whose dick are they sucking?
Apparently,
what devil cum are they? Are they fucking gargling? I don't.
They do pretty well. I'll give them that.
They can't keep getting away with this.
The last 4 signings that we're gonna go over. Matthew Tkachuk took his $21 million over 3 years. Currently, 11 games played, 2 goals, 6 assists, -2. Patrick Laine then took his 13.5 over 2 years, 11 games played, 3 goals, 9 assists, +1. Pretty good for him. 12 points currently. I hope he keeps it going. I'm rooting for this guy.
Yeah, I'm hoping for him.
Mikko Rantanen then took the second highest deal, $55.5 million over 6 years, 9 games played currently, 5 goals, 7 assists, +1. Man, Colorado is yucky good.
He is. Unfortunately, Mikko Rantanen went down with an injury today.
He did.
That's rather unfortunate.
Is it long? I didn't see the length of the injury, or was it just?
He might have been day to day. I'm not really sure. I
think it was day to day because I think I remember seeing that now. Kyle Connor then took $50 million over 7 years. Currently, 11 games played, 4 goals, 1 assist, -6. Yikes.
Yeah.
So, moving on from the RFA signings, we're going to talk about Edmonton and Buffalo. I've got them kind of, you can see here, I've got them written.
You don't want to go over the RFAs at all? You don't want to talk about them? Anything?
I mean, we can talk about some of them if you want. Is there anything you want to say?
First one, Mitch Marner, that contract, yikes. That's gotta hurt, right? You're
Does it
Toronto
hurt?
fan.
Hurts a little bit because the guy is gonna make way more money than that off of endorsements, so it does kind of sting a little bit. But I mean, I prefer having Mitch Marner on the team than not having him on the team, to be honest.
Yeah. But I mean, especially after seeing what Brock Besser and Mikko Rantanen went for, like that. Yeah. Do you think it had anything to do with all the media coverage that Toronto gets? Do you think that's why?
It's called the Toronto tax. If Toronto made it out of the first round last year, Marner would have took less. Changed my mind.
I think you're right. Yeah.
He would have. They didn't make it out of the first. They haven't done anything. That's why. It's going to cost people. It's going to cost the Leafs an arm and a leg to get players to come here until they get out of the first round.
Yeah. And there's nothing they can do about it until that happens. So.
Yeah.
All right. Other than that, Tkachuk, the highest paid player on the Flames offense.
7 years or $7 million. Sorry.
$7 million, doing all right. Mikko Rantanen having a great season so far. at his contract, but
Stay healthy.
that injury, he's got to stay healthy. But yeah, other than that, that's all I wanted to mention. So,
Okay.
all right, Edmonton, Buffalo.
As you can see, guys, I've kind of written out what they've done so far. Edmonton is currently on a 2-game losing streak. Are they done already? Like, is that it? They went 7-0-1.
I don't think that's it yet.
I hope not. They haven't lost a game at home yet. And so currently, guys, they're 7-2-1, 15 points total, 31 goals for, 24 against. They're 4-0-0 at home and 3-2-1 away. Their notable players so far: Connor McDavid has 17 points, 5 goals, 12 assists. Leon Draisaitl has 16 points, 6 goals, 10 assists. And James Neal, 10 points, 9 goals, 1 assist. Mike Smith currently has posted a 3-2-1 season, a goals against of 214, a save percentage of 925. And Mikko Koskinen is a 4-0-0 with a goals against of 2.20 and a save percentage of 934. And if you can tell that I'm very confused, I am, because I wrote that guy off.
Yeah, I didn't think Edmonton's goaltending would be where it is right now.
No, I genuinely didn't, and I don't know if it continues or not.
No, and I did not realize the 2 games in a row that they've lost, they were shut out.
Yep, that's why I think
they got shut out. They got shut out by the Jets and shut out by the Wild, which is mind-boggling. The Wild might be the worst team in the league right now.
Yeah, that's why I think they're done.
I don't think they're done. I think there's just a rough streak right now, but they could always bring it back because they're also, I believe, on the road. I don't think they're at home right now.
I mean, if they went home and they lost a game, I'd say that's done.
Yeah, I mean they're at home tomorrow against Capitals.
No,
so maybe
Buffalo has had a little bit better. I mean, they've had one more win, but I want to just say this. Edmonton's a team that we kind of wrote off at the beginning. We said they were a bubble team, but never really had any faith in them. Buffalo is a team that I always have faith in up until December, and then they just kind of fall off the edge of the planet.
Yeah.
But they're starting off really good.
The benefit, I think, between the two teams, both of them, Victor Olofsson and James Neal for Buffalo and Edmonton, respectively.
Yep.
They're just going off. Victor Olofsson, he's just been on the power play going off.
Yeah.
6 goals, 3 assists for 9 points.
I didn't even know who that was.
No one did. He just kind of came out of nowhere. I think Buffalo knew he was going to come up, but they weren't expecting what's happened so far. So
Carter Hutton. Holy smokes.
Yeah, Carter Hutton too.
6-0-0. He's posted a 165 goals against and a save percentage of 934. Who? What?
I knew Carter Hutton would be like a decent goaltender.
But what?
Out of nowhere, he's become one of the best, probably right now the best in the league.
Will he continue though? That's the real question I want to pose with these
teams. I don't know. The problem with Buffalo is I never know. Every time I think, they're going to do, they're finally going to do it this year, and then they screw up something somewhere somehow.
I have higher hopes for Edmonton than I do for Buffalo, but that's not saying much.
Yeah, I would agree. I think James Neal has definitely been the better player between him and Victor Olofsson. 9 goals in one assist for 10 points. That's crazy. Madness.
Pretty sure he scored 4 in one game though.
He did, but still, that's another 5 and the other.
I stated at the beginning of the year that this was going to happen. James Neal was going to return to form because it's James Neal and he's playing aside Connor McDavid.
Yep. Connor McDavid now has an elite scorer he can pass to, and that's all that really matters.
Exactly. That's all he needed on his wing, and now he's got it, and I hope that this team continues to what they're doing. Mikko Koskinen, man, he can't be good. Everyone wrote him off.
I don't think it's sustainable.
I swear to God, man, if he turns out to be good, we're making Peter Chiarelli look better again.
Yeah.
It's gonna piss me off. I hate him so much. Anyways, so we'll move a little bit further here. I just want to know, Ryan, who do you think won the trade?
Who do you think?
Well, look, I'm gonna say this. I think that the Calgary Flames traded James Neal because he wasn't playing well there, and I think it was a coaching issue. I think the Flames have a coaching issue. I genuinely do.
I think they did. I don't think it's the issue with Neal and Lucic right now.
No.
I think the problem with Neal and Lucic
He's
it's
old, he's
Neal.
bad. But here's the thing: they wanted a player to come in and produce grit, and I think that's what he's been doing. He has 26 penalty minutes. He got into a fight. Like,
Yeah, I think he's league leading penalty minutes,
I think
but
so. But
that's not that's like a GM issue. Your GMs are going for grit when no one should ever be going for grit anymore.
I know, but I don't know if I can say that if the Oilers won the deal or not, because I think that Calgary got what they were looking for.
I think they did, but they gave away they gave away something they didn't think they had.
True.
Which is the problem.
If you're on
Like
Calgary right now and you're sitting in that locker room, do you look at James Neal's success and you are mad? Like, does that affect you at all?
I don't know if it affects me, but I think the fans saying that it's rough to see James Neal come because he came to Calgary, didn't do really anything, and then as soon as they trade him, he goes off. Like that's hard to see as a fan.
I think that as a teammate, though, and even as someone sitting in the locker room, that's why I think it's a coaching issue. Because look, you put him on a different team, and he all of a sudden lights the lamp again. He was fine. Yeah, he went to Calgary, and then it wasn't good. Like, they brought him there to be a first line, second line at like worst player.
Yeah. I think it was a coaching issue. Him and the coach didn't mesh, and it did not turn out well.
So I don't know who won the trade. From an offensive standpoint, you obviously know that James Neal. Edmonton fleeced them. If you look at stuff like that, I just don't know because Milan Lucic is a gritty player, and that's what they wanted. But
I think James Neal wins the trade for Edmonton.
I think that James Neal would have done terrible if he stayed on Calgary another year. So I'm happy for him. He would have out of that shithole.
He would have still been terrible if he stayed in Calgary, but Milan Lucic is going to be terrible no matter where he is. So I don't know.
So
I think they could have got a better deal for James Neal. And I think that's what stinks the most for them.
Yeah, probably. So
other than that, nothing has really changed.
Yeah,
it's still a shitty player on a shitty contract playing for your shit team.
Well, because they're both on three more years after this one, so they have 4-year contracts left. Yikes! Yeah. But anyways, so moving on from who won that trade, what is New Jersey doing? They started off 0-4-2. They're now on a 2-game winning streak. They currently at 19 goals for, 21 goals against. Like, who is to blame? Can they even keep Taylor Hall at this point? Is it really a point, or should they be looking at dumping him already? Like, Jack
I don't know about ready. I think you definitely wait to the deadline with Taylor Hall. Make a call there. Yeah. But I think for the biggest part, they've been waiting on Jack Hughes.
He has 2 points.
He's got 2 points. He's been
-4.
But he scored his first goal like the other night
against Quentin Hughes, against his brother.
I didn't know that, but yeah, it's
only the 9th time that's happened in NHL history, actually.
Really?
Yep.
Really?
It's happened 9 times, and I think 3 of them happened before 1950.
Damn.
Yeah, so there's really only 7.
Yeah. So I think that's the biggest issue. I think they were just waiting on Jack Hughes to get his mojo back and get going here, but I think now he is, and it's good. I think Nico. You said Nico Hischier might be a bust here. I don't think so. I don't think so.
I know it's early to call him a bust, but I mean, yikes, man.
Remember that draft year, everyone knew that was going to be a down year for draft.
I know, but they just re-signed him. They gave him a big old extension.
Yeah, because I think New Jersey believes in him, and I think I believe in him as well. And I think he can turn around. I think it just takes a little bit of time. If he had started in the AHL and not the NHL, I think it probably would have helped him a bit.
Yeah. But, now, here's the thing. Taylor Hall is supposed to be the leading goal scorer on this team, currently sitting at 1 goal in the 8 games they played.
He does have 5 assists, though.
You're right, but he's -2.
I know. Taylor Hall has not been performing as well as he wants. I think it's rough for him, especially in a contract year. Where it is a contract year for Taylor Hall, though, I think he'll turn it around.
I think that Nikita Gusev is the shining star on this team.
That was a great pickup.
Absolutely.
Great pickup.
I love it.
Yeah.
And I think Corey Schneider's burnt out. I mean, you can see it in his stats so far. He's pulled in his last game. Mackenzie Blackwood might be the better option, but I mean, yikes. He only has a goals against of .315, a save percentage of .886.
Yeah.
I don't even know if you can say that's the better option.
I think it is. I think Blackwood did have a game where he was not very good. I want to check his stats here.
Well, it's obviously a better option than Schneider, but holy smokes, if that's your better option, then this team is fucked.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's a rough start for him, but I think they can definitely turn around. There's no reason to think otherwise. But
I hope so, man. But
and you gotta remember
yoiks.
another player that could come out back to be the star. He was PK Subban. Could come
You're
back.
right. He's having a rough start getting going. I could have included him in
He's had
this.
a rough start. He's had a rough couple years, but I think he could definitely pull it back.
I hope he gets back into form, but man, yikes! This team is it's rough. You find Blackfoot's stats.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not great. I did look at it. I did find per game, but it's not great.
No,
Wayne
it's really
Simmons
not.
also is not paying off how they wanted it to. I know it's only a 1 year deal, so there's not much risk, but
Yeah.
still,
Well,
it's rough to see.
I don't know. New Jersey's got some decisions to make. 'Cause if it's coming down to it at the deadline, it seems like they can't keep Taylor Hall. Just move him for an asset because you're gonna lose him
Yeah,
anyway. And I think
get
he'd
a
be
first
good
round
at
pick or
it.
two.
Exactly. So, moving on from that, Vancouver. I love their goaltending, Ryan. I love it.
I know you are very hot on the
They're
goaltending.
such a fun team to watch, man. Like
They are a very fun team.
they're so fun to see. I don't know if it continues, but Demko is 2-1-0, a goals against of 164 and a save percentage of 943, and Markstrom is 4-2-0, goals against of 250 and a save percentage of 933.
Yeah, I think their goaltending is going to work out. Like they've been waiting on their goaltending to come to mature a bit. Jacob Markstrom took a while. Thatcher Demko's not taking as long, which is nice, but
Yeah.
definitely seeing that for the Vancouver fans has got to be a good relief.
Well, I mean, I hope so.
Because they've been struggling between the pipes ever since Corey. They traded Schneider long ago, probably.
Yeah, it would have been the
Like,
Longo deal kind of screwed them up. I mean, they lost
yeah,
everything, and it's nice to see because also in the minors they still have DiPietro coming up as well, so it'll be
yeah.
interesting to see who actually competes for that.
Plus, you got Quentin Hughes, who is just so phenomenal. Elias Peterson, Brock Besser, all phenomenal players. I can't wait to see
Absolutely.
what they can do. Even Captain Bo Horvat,
Oh,
newly named captain.
I love this
I
team.
think he was a great choice. I love this team. I think they are maybe a bubble team this year, probably not, but next year, looking forward, they're looking good.
They're gonna make the playoffs next year if they don't make it this year.
Oh, easily, yeah.
So
Next year, I believe.
this is I think this next thing is the John Carlson.
John Carlson.
John Carlson is leading the NHL right now, 20 points in 11 games, plus 8.
Yeah.
Last year he finished with 70 points. He's only making $8 million a year through 2026. And John Carlson has played a big part in those wins.
Yeah.
If you watch the games.
I mean,
but
yeah.
can he keep pace?
I honestly think he can. I think he can do it.
So do you think the defense?
I don't think he keeps this pace because right now he's on pace for like 160 points. But
Let's say, do you see a defenseman actually, leading the NHL in points at the end of this year?
no, but I think he does keep up the pace of good scoring. I think he'll have like 80 points by the end of this year.
Man, that'd be a hot take.
Yeah, I really think he does.
So,
I think we see what we saw with Erik Karlsson a few years ago.
I hope someone's out there going, yeah, man, he's going to lead the NHL in points at the end of the year because that'd be amazing to see. I'd love to see that.
I would be very shocked to see that. I would be very excited to see a goaltender do that. But
You mean a defenseman? You said goaltender?
I'd be even more shocked if a goaltender did it. But yeah, if a defenseman could pull that off.
They can't go past half, man. You watch what Patrick Waugh tried to do? He got called for a
Listen,
penalty.
they could do it. Carey Price was almost going to shoot a puck at an empty net a couple nights ago. I so wish he had.
Oh, that would have been sick.
See, he could have scored it. I would have gone fucking nuts.
Yeah, that would have been hype. So yeah, I hope John Carlson keeps somewhat of this pace because it would just be good to see.
I think he will.
I mean, the Cavs are a good team, so I mean, and let's get to the last little thing here, and then we can wrap it up. Dallas.
Man, I thought Dallas could do it. I thought the old players would pay off, the experience, the good goal scoring, if they could get a system that made it work, and it just hasn't. Like, they have had a rough schedule. They've had a very rough schedule. They've only had a couple practices as a team because they just it's been such a tight schedule. I think they've played I actually don't know how many games, but it's been a lot of games at once.
They've played 11, which is the most, I think, as far as the league goes, because I think they're tied with the Leafs for games played. But The players
Yeah,
that they
I like
brought
it.
back this year were Radulov, Polak, and Antoine Khudobin, and Blake Como. And they signed players such as Joe Pavelski, Andrei Sekera, and Corey Perry.
Yeah.
This team is currently 3-7-1, 23 goals for and 32 against. And, I was hoping this experiment of bringing in old men would work for them. I was, it was a cool idea. I thought, man, Corey Perry, he'll get it going. I mean, he's
Yeah.
got 3 goals, I think, so far, which is kind of cool. But, I mean, yikes, they're off to an absolute fail this so
Yeah, I
far.
mean, and I want to bring up the schedule again. Like, it's been so rough. They've been playing like day on, day off, back to back, day off, day on. Like, it's
Sounds
been
like the
such a
Leafs.
rough schedule. It's been a very rough schedule. I think the Leafs have had it too, but the Leafs are such a younger team; it hasn't really affected them as much. But especially for the older guys in Dallas, that's a rough start.
You're right.
It's a rough way to get going here.
I also clicked on the wrong team. I meant to go look at Dallas, but I clicked on Anaheim. Oops.
Those are not the same team.
Nope.
I
Why did
mean,
that?
might be Corey Perry, but they're
I-
not actually the same team.
I have no clue why I did that. I wanted to go look at the stats.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yikes. Holy shoot. Tyler
And yeah, I
Seguin,
remember-
6 points. Jamie Benn, 5 points. Radulov, 4 points. Joe Pavelski, 3 points. Corey Perry, 3 points.
Yeah. I think
Jeez.
the problem they're looking at is Jamie Benn, Tyler Seguin are not clutch.
I don't know how.
Right now the team around them is not great, but that's the kind of time where you got to look to your captain and your assistant captain Tyler Seguin, and like they need to step up. I know they've had their dealings with the owner. It's been a rough time to be a Dallas Star recently, but
Do we ever
I
say,
really think
Do we ever say goaltending is the issue on this team?
no, it's not, because Ben Bishop is arguably one of the best goaltenders in the league.
Okay.
And to say that they have a goaltending issue would be a disservice to him. And
Well, I know it's
that's
just
not their
his,
issue.
stat,
They
his
can't.
stats don't look great. I mean, the team in front of him
It's
is
not been great.
performing, but
It's not great stats wise, but the team in front of him is the problem.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
not him.
who's this Roop Heinz guy? He's leading the team in points and goals.
Yeah, that's like there's your problem right there.
Left winger.
Heinz should not be
22-year-old.
leading that team.
He is a rookie.
third-
This is his first year. He has 7 points in 11 games, 6 goals.
Yeah.
That's pretty damn good.
But yeah, you gotta look at their defense and see John Klingberg and Heiskanen, and that's about it. Lindell, I guess. But
Andre
like,
Sekera, bro. And Lindell, yeah. And Jamie Alexiak. And
if Jamie Alexia, I don't trust Jamie
Roman
Alexiak that
Polak,
much.
too. Roman Polak.
Is he on this team? Are you serious?
They brought him back. He played on this team last year. Roman Polak, baby. Let's go.
Like, this is
in.
not a team that's going to make the playoffs.
I'm in. Roman Polak.
If-
I'm in on him.
If Corey Perry comes back, which he won't, it could turn around. If Joe Pavelski comes back, which he won't, it could turn it around. But
I don't know.
right now, I've got no faith in this team.
I got a soft spot for this team. I see them making playoffs by a lot.
I mean,
Hot take.
I thought.
Hot take. They're going to make playoffs.
See, here's the thing. I thought that too. I thought the old guys would pay off at the beginning of the season. I thought this was going to work.
Yeah.
Dallas is a smart team, bringing in small players, experience, goal scoring. It's going to work.
Didn't work.
And it is not working.
Didn't work.
It's not going to work. I've got no faith in this team. Jamie Benn's washed up. All their scoring is not there. That's a hot take. I know. Jamie
That
Benn
is a
is.
hot take. Calling Jamie Benn a wash up, bro.
He's washed up. He's washed up. I stand by that.
Jeez.
Like he had 50, like this is a player that had like between 70 and 90 points for the last like 4 years. He had 53 points last year. He's got 5 points in 11 games this year. He's not going to come back.
Dude, that's rough. I cannot believe you just called Jamie Benn a wash up, bro. That is a hot
Yeah.
take. I
Yep,
do not feel that way at all about that man. I think that he's just in a rough situation, but yikes.
He's in a rough situation, but when you're the captain, you need to step
right.
up and
Okay.
change the situation.
Okay,
And he just does not have the ability to do it.
you got it. All right, well, that's, you want to take the outro on this one? Because that's the last slide we got.
Yeah. So yeah, that was the latest episode 4. I'm glad you came to watch and listen. And I will hopefully see you very soon. We're going to try and get these out on a more regular basis. But until then,
We got a background now. Background all
Yeah.
day. Watch the YouTube video. Check out our YouTube
woo,
channel.
woo. Yeah. Off the boards with Josh and Ryan is going to be great. And thank you guys for watching. See you
Thanks,
guys next time.
Later.
Bye.